my sunglasses in the car. Would have been good for this one.
It would have been.
All right, just pretend I've got sunglasses
Not the
on.
same. Not the
no,
same.
it's not the same.
No.
Hey, Jay, are you guys, do you guys have any Star Wars Legion?
No, not anymore. Yeah, we moved on. We
Are
liquidated.
you gonna get the new one in?
Probably not. I mean, I can order it for it. Do you want some?
No, I'm just checking.
Oh.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you were gonna carry it or not.
Oh, well, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I wish it wasn't like the exact conversation that happens every time with Star Wars, like Star Wars Legion specifically. It's always exactly that. It's it's the asks about it, inquires information. The second you ask them if they're actually going to buy something, it's like no, I don't actually. I just wanted to do this. Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Back on the shelf or whatever. Yeah.
No, well, it's really what it is the constant forever thing that occurs here is that deep desire to know that A, there will be a game on the shelf, and B, that other people will play it, and then if those two things are there, then maybe I will play it too, but only if those other two are true.
Or how many of them are just have a little bit of Legion at home and they're just like checking in on their investment.
Yeah.
They're being like, oh, is this game still alive?
Yeah.
Or did I waste a couple $100 and now I can't use my models or whatever. Yeah, some crazy thought like that. I don't know. Yeah.
I always see it as well.
Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to the Lords of War Games and Hobbies video. I'm Chris, this is Jay, and we're not here to poo-poo Star Wars Legion. I think
we're not.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Okay. I thought this was Dunk Atomic Mass Week or whatever.
Well, it's certainly turning into that.
It's like Shark Week, but
it's certainly turning into that
or whatever.
How the tables have changed. How the turns have tabled.
Every season.
The War Machine video we made was a positive one, and they're
sandwich models. It's inverse though.
It's the sandwich model. Shitty bread, good meat.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not going to poo-poo it because, like, look, taking just the product itself and being like, oh, look at these miniatures. Look at this game they made. That's cool.
Yeah.
And we've talked about on the channel many times, being in this business a couple decades, how sometimes it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
How good the models are, how good the rules are, right? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about some of the other stuff. Like, why is this relaunch, which now we've actually just had a big bunch of the products come in, and we only know that because we had one customer who's awesome, who buys, who loves to. He's like Chris. If I had to tell myself as a young, we call him Johnny, young Johnny when he's 11, that he's gonna get to paint plastic frame stormtroopers one day, he's like, I would have gone bonkers. And I'm like, you're making a good case to like build and paint the miniatures. Yeah, he really wants the models, right?
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, he paints really well. Yeah. But aside from him, like, we didn't really get any orders for it, right? So, and a little bit of context and history, we had to liquidate our whole range of Star Wars Legion, and we gave it a good try. Like, we were in on Star Wars Legion since the beginning. We had all the kits.
Well, to add to it, and again, putting the company that make the game, like in this case was still Fantasy Flight. We've been through this a couple times. We had X-Wing and then X-Wing 2.0.
We don't talk about 2.0 because that was the bad touch game or whatever.
And
you want me to re-buy my dials, Jay?
Yeah, and because I think this is related. And the other one was also Armada and the
Imperial Assault.
And the Imperial Assault. So Imperial Assault, Armada, X-Wing.
There's a literal graveyard of Star Wars games.
Yeah.
And Legion very much in the grave. Like, no matter what anyone says, it was 6 feet under. As far as games go, like, I get there was people still playing it. There's people that still play X-Wing. It's not a product for sale anymore.
Yeah.
So people playing it doesn't mean it's alive, right?
Again,
in the retail sense,
there's always going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, no, it's killing it where I am. I'm like, I guess so, but
sick, man. I mean, that's awesome. Great.
For the sake of the company,
I would want to see that though, with my eyes to believe it.
I on one hand, I always preface the thing like, oh, we're just one store, and but I always remind people, I'm like, yeah, but our little chunk of geography where we are is still a very relevant metric because it is like it is a major
the GTA
first
is kind
world
of
population center with a lot of disposable money or whatever you want. Like it's that little chunk of little area we are, I'm sure is equivalent to a metropolitan area in California or in the Northeast or whatever, where there's like
8 million people in the Greater Toronto area. Like it's not a small chunk of change.
I mean, you just take just in general, you can extend that out, but there's a lot of wargaming happening here because it can be the market can sustain it, and so when a game that has all those things and a big major IP and all this can't like make it here, then I think it's it doesn't. To me, that's great that some little area in the Midwest has a good little community and etc. But it's telling when a major area, just not one store or club exists where this game is thriving anymore.
I mean, you probably have like a freakish kind of like community leader there that's really pumping the tires of the game and like bending over backwards and
so that's the stuff that is really telling.
But I think that's more the outlier. I think obviously.
Yeah. So we're trying to put this back on the rails. The concept was why the relaunches don't.
Why this relaunch, and then like why relaunches are next to impossible with these types of games, right? Like why is it so hard to bring a game back? And I think we already kind of touched on the biggest one is like, and we've said this in many of our videos before, is when you're a business and you've had to fire sell something, put it in a discount bin, sell it on marketplace, eBay, whatever, and usually take an absolute bath on it, right? How excited are you to bring that product back in?
Yeah,
even if it's new and improved and like and specifically like not there's anything wrong with this, but like when I did discount the Legion, all of a sudden there were a lot of interested people in buying it.
Right.
So I wonder if it's like a cost sensitivity kind of thing with that particular group of people that are playing it, or it's just like, at this price, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's you could argue that with lots of products. It's like anything that's on sale ever. If it gets low enough, it has to be super. So I think there was
because there are model kits.
There's still model kits. And they were historically, and they still are historically, one of the best priced model ranges. I think like
they were, yeah.
Like our patron there, Robbie, or Johnny.
I was masking his name a little bit.
It's okay. No, I don't. It's just a name. So they, I remember the one of the products. It was like a army. It was like one of the new armies, and I was like, this is
so cheap.
Like for how much you get, it was like I think it was $135 or something.
Canadian, like funny money,
for like several squads and heroes and all this stuff. I was like
damn, it's very competitive pricing.
So, I don't think a problem is with the price and all their models and sculpts have like continued to improve. Mm-hmm. They're in line with the Shatterpoint models, which look great. So like you said, it's. So on the store end, it's the institutional thing. Even on the distributor end, sometimes they also maybe order less or just are more bearish on it because of the past. And then you also add, if you're going to relaunch a game, you have to change things. And so old players may not buy your game again because they're like, my old cards don't work with the new cards, and I don't want to rebuy. I've had someone say this verbatim to me in the past. I said, hey, what do you're a big Star Wars guy. You grabbing, and they played all the Star Wars games. I'm like, you grabbing a Shatterpoint? And they're like, they literally said, no, I already own 3 Vaders. And I was like, I didn't have a rebuttal for that. I could have said, but you don't have this one. But I was like, man, that's a problem. So,
are people a little Vadered out right now? If we're being real, are people a little Vadered out? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. So there is, that's a thing when you have to buy, and they in this, if we're picking on this game, this it's not just this game. We've seen it with like Malifaux and some other games that rely heavily on card packs and dials and the kind of proprietary tokens and pieces. That hurts extra because it's like you have to rewrite, you have to invalidate them all, and and then what happens is, like we saw this with Malifaux 3.0. It was like, okay, we're making card packs for everything, and then you're hamstrung by like, oh, they sold out, or this sold out, and then there's like, and it's not even the company will be like, yeah, we can make them free and downloadable, but I don't know, people, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
people are always like, yeah,
I'll just not play the game.
I just won't play.
I just won't play the game.
Like, it's kind of wild.
You're like, holy moly!
You're like, you could just print this off, and they're like, who owns a printer? I'm like, that's touche or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to print things off.
Yeah,
yeah.
So there was that. I think in the case of X-Wing, there was like massive changes to the bases as well.
Yeah,
they reclassified because we had. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they added a medium class. They went from small and large
to like a middle size,
and that was a big problem for existing players. So say what you will about the sort of GW Codex model. That obviously gets more expensive as the years tick on, but generally what happens there most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, is your collection stays the same, and you just buy the new book.
Right.
And you're just like,
it is kind of the simplest method, right? Now you can also go to the extreme and like look at what Corvus Belli's done and say, like, is that the cleanest way to do things? Like, where it's essentially they've
trained everyone to use the app.
They've trained everybody. This is basically a digital game. I think, ironically, miniatures. It's a digital game.
Yeah,
they almost don't even print rule books anymore, to the point where it's like,
don't.
Yeah, they do some fluff books here and there.
The N5 book does not have
rules in it. Yeah, which is so funny. But in that sense, like, you never have the excuse when there's an edition change to really be upset that you have to buy something, because you don't. The only kind of upset thing would be like, oh, the rules changed and I have to learn new things and stuff like that. But I mean, ultimately, that's a whole different conversation. But they definitely have like minimized the potential for barriers, right? Because, like, let's be honest, it's always a barrier. Like, every time there's an edition jump with Games Workshop, you're basically asking someone to buy back in again. So you're gonna keep your subscription alive?
Yeah.
You buying in to 11th edition, 12th edition, 13th edition?
Yeah.
We're asking you to buy a new rulebook. We're asking you to buy a new codex, at least one codex, depending on how many armies you play and are going to play with. So, and you're right. Star Wars Legion's got the cards, so there is a little bit of that buy-in there for sure. Yeah.
I guess other questions with like relaunches is like, so you have this, like, maybe the old players will come back. It's supposed to be an opportunity for new people. You're supposed to have that nice buff of.
Here's a question for you, okay?
Okay.
Here's a real question for you. How many new Star Wars fans have been created in the last 5 years? Like,
I mean, if we're really picking on that game, yeah, I know. Yeah.
I always go back to that conference room we were in a couple years ago at the trade show.
Yep.
And
this was
they were previewing all the upcoming Shatterpoint models. And we're in a room with a bunch of store owners, basically, like people like us or whatever. They're business owners. And they're showing off, hey, check out this new squad. This is from the blah, blah, blah TV show.
Yeah.
How many people have seen that? And
not one hand. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe
one
person. I mean, like, Jay and I are like, oh no.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of slides like that, and he started to like get really like nervous.
He started
and
to just kind of zoom through.
And it's just like, that's the problem. Like, it's I don't. Aside from the problems we mentioned, like, the game's failed once already in a lot of shops, not every shop, and that there's that they're fighting that. They're fighting, asking their customers to buy back in again. Are those same customers going to buy brand new Stormtroopers?
Yeah.
When they already have Stormtroopers? Are they going to buy brand new Vader when they have Vader already, right? And then number 3 is like, okay, let's assume that they're not targeting those people who are they targeting? Who are these people?
Yeah.
Who, Jay?
Yeah.
Who? Where are the people? Where are the people?
You know what's another thing, if we're continuing on the Star Wars realm, I think it's tough because it is also competing against itself in a lot of ways, because there's so much. I just popped in my head. I was like, if I wanted, it's like an easier thing that it's like, for example, Star Wars Lego. Like, I could just buy into that. It probably scratches a similar itch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've got constant releases and cool stuff.
It's funny. There. Like one of our good friends, who's also in this business, he's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And he doesn't collect any of the Star Wars adventure games, but he buys the hell out of Star Wars Lego.
Yeah, like there's so many adjacent. There's like action figures. There's Lego. There's tabletop miniatures. Like there's also like
card games.
There's card games. There's also like big figurines and collectible. Like you can get replica this and that. Like it's just so many ways to buy the same thing.
They're
again and
micro targeting. The like, okay, you do the hobby, okay, cool, and you like Star Wars, okay, but that's not enough.
Yeah,
you also have to not want to do any of those other 15 things to scratch the Star Wars itch, right? Exactly. Which that's a it's a tall order.
Yeah, so you're asking a casual fan to also build and paint these minis, and so. I mean, I think they're hoping it's a 40K player that likes Star Wars might. That's what they're really hoping for.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of any other like relaunch. Like there's always done. Like there's the other thing too is if you do a relaunch and you fail again, that's like absolutely done. Like I've seen like you get like a Dark Age or something. Like there's some of these games that have been hit with the relaunch more than once. And now you're like, this is so dead.
That one's particularly sad because like I felt like the what they were doing with the second try at Dark Age was absolutely incredible.
Sure.
So once again, it doesn't matter even sometimes how good the models are, how cool the game is.
It's timing.
It's just timing. It's the market. It's memories of businesses and customers. Because we didn't talk about, like we did talk about a little bit. It was like, we have institutional memory with businesses. You also have customer memory and context, like you said, with the Star Wars games and failing before. And do they really want to buy back into this? Maybe their local hobby shop dropped it, right? Like so. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna think of other, because I am trying to think of other nuts. So we're not just Atomic Mass Dunk Week or whatever. Yeah.
Just aiming.
They're like we're gonna get some strongly worded letters. I think back here at the store, also games like Middle Earth Hobbit Strategy Battle Game. Like every time GW releases a thing or rehashes a rules, I feel like they make a new rulebook for that game. Sorry, that's like a revision of the rulebook, every 3 years, and like no one buys it. Like,
the latest efforts surrounding that animated movie were very tragic. Like it felt.
I mean, I don't even think this is a Games Workshop problem. They made the models that look like the characters and they look nice. There's another. Between various, like I love Lord of the Rings too. It's like such a
to the point where we'll both watch Rings of Power.
Exactly.
That's how much we love Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
well, I will watch it. I have watched it. Yeah.
I will and have watched Rings of Power.
But from a IP related product tie-in, it's maybe you got to wait 20 years or something. Like it's.
I mean, I get that in the current
and that's another game that stores fully liquidated out of ages ago.
Yeah. I mean, I get in their current capitalist kind of where we're at thing. Like a lot of companies aren't asking the question why are we making this?
Yeah.
I always think of Pixar. Like they had their mission statement of if we're going to make a movie, we have to answer all these questions, right? And I feel like. It's just like a shock. So much of it's just a shotgun now. Like it's like we got to make product and shoot it out to people, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, on to the next thing, right? And I think you just end up with a lot more failures that way, right?
Yeah, it's just in general. There's just so much less creativity. Like you just maybe we're gonna cycle back out of that, but for the last 10 years, it's been so. Let's just take an old thing that was successful and spit it back out or append to it. And I think we saw it with again, like Marvel IP exhaustion too. You know, like all these things. It's just like make something new. Like, you know, like,
people are starved for that for sure.
It is. You know.
I mean, I think that's why 40K has the staying power that it does, because like there is legitimately like new things that come from that, right? Like they're not just pulling from a movie or a book or like a you know. So I don't know. It is what it is. I guess my final sort of thought is just like who asked for this, and yeah.
I mean, what were they going to do? Like,
I think ultimately they had a bit of a gun to their head.
I feel like aren't they just like, we're going to make a new edition?
It was a lose-lose, because I think if you make the new Legion, you have what you have now, which is like a tough go. I think it's going to be a tough go. And then if you don't remake it, you have what's going to be a real tough go again, because now you've really cemented your legacy as a company that just drops products constantly.
Yeah.
And how does anyone trust you going forward with anything new you ever want to make?
You know, you have to be. I feel like with smaller miniature games like a lot of games have new editions every little while, but every time you do it, there is like a chance it goes the other way.
Oh yeah.
You know. Like,
I think every small company knows that. They're like, you know, like
you have to do it to live.
You have to do it to live. Yeah.
But it might also kill you.
It might kill you. That's a good video topic. Yeah. No, we've seen it plenty of times. Completely launch a game into the stratosphere and like really make the game what it was. Like I'm thinking like War Machine 2nd Edition, Malifaux 2nd Edition. Those are two that come to my head as being like big, kind of like, wow, they really grew and expanded during those times. And it's funny because at least in one of those, I know, like with Malifaux, it almost killed them to release that edition. Quite literally, the investments and stuff. But or it goes the other way, where like, you release an edition and it's X-Wing 2nd Edition, right? Like, so War Machine 3rd Edition. Yeah.
Well, they're under like, this is technically 4 or 5.
This is 4. We're in 4, I think, still.
Yeah, but they've
4.5 or whatever. 4.5. But their new core book comes out in December. Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, how can people support us? We're like a real business or something?
We are, Yep.
We'll shill at the 23rd minute here.
You can go to the old Patreon there. You can throw bucks at us there. You can give us free likes and subscribes if you like. You can just directly e-transfer us to you go to our lordsofwargames.com.
Sign up for direct payments.
People always ask us, like, I want to like throw you a bone. And I'm like, just buy something from the web store.
Honestly, I like that option the best, because
you get something you need.
Yeah, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
So like you get something cool and we get something cool. I guess money's cool. You need money.
I get to
for
eat
things
or
and
something.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching till the end. You're a legend. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.